So prior to this, knowing that the handlebars, the wiring was kind of cheap, I went online and Harley makes, I think it's a handlebar wiring kit. And it's the switch housings with all the switches, and it's 60 inches of wiring harness. So what I wound up doing last weekend was I pulled the old switch housings off. I had to take the gas tank off so I could get to the connections under there for the wiring harness. So I took the gas tank off and unplugged where the wiring harness connects under the tank on both sides. Undid the switch housings. And then I had to take the, I think it's some Molex connectors off. I had to take the connectors off, which is another thing I'll show you. It's like super easy. Once you figure out how to do it, it's super easy. But anyway, so I pulled all the wires through, and I didn't take the handlebars off. I didn't take the handlebars off for any of this, which was amazing. And so I pulled all the wiring harness through, and I got the new Harley wiring harness, and you won't be able to see it, I don't think. But under here, yeah, you can't see it. There's actually a place cut out where the wires go inside the handlebars. So I took a little washer, a metal washer, tied it to a string, and blew the string through there with my air compressor. So the string is now out here. Well, you can't see it. See where these come out? Yeah, so the string blew out through here. And I had the other end of the string on where the switch housing is. So I tied it to the ends of the switch housing where all the connections are. And I just proceeded to pull it through. And it went through pretty easily until, well, you can see right here, when it hit this 45, I had to pull pretty hard. And fortunately, I think it was the right side of the handlebars came through, surprisingly pretty easy. When the connections were at the bottom, where the wires are, when the connections were in here, I had to take a little 45-degree pick and hook one, and then I could grab them and pull it through. So that side was easy. The other side was more problematic. I started with the string, and it kept breaking. When it would go down to the 45-degree angle there, the string just kept breaking. And so I got some, I think it was 18-gauge wire, and I tied the wire around there and I gorilla taped it on so it wouldn't slip off. And I proceeded to pull through again, and when it hit that 45-degree angle, the wire broke. I could not get it to come through. So what I finally did, here I'll show you. Turn the light on. What I finally did was I got some of this wire. You can see it's still got a loop in it. This is the other wire I used that kept breaking. So I got some of this wire, and it's flexible enough where I can run it through the handlebars. And so I wrapped that wire around the handlebar, the wiring harness, created a hook at the top, and then I wrapped gorilla tape around there, and the hook was hooked over the gorilla tape, so there's no way that that's coming off. And so I pulled it down, and of course I had to get some leverage, right? So what I did was I took a pair of these, because it got kind of like a foamy handle, and I wrapped the wire around the handle a few times, and then I could pull the handle of that tool and pull the wire through, rather than trying to hold it with my hands, because I knew that it would be really painful and I wouldn't be able to get any leverage on it. So sure enough, got down to the 45-degree angle in the handlebars, and it came undone. Like that metal piece I don't think it broke, but it came undone. But fortunately, it made that turn. It made that 45-degree angle, and I was able to see the ends of the wiring harness. And then eventually pulled it through. Would it have been easier to take the handlebars off? I mean, yeah. It's a couple risers. But I like figuring things out. Sometimes the hard way, whatever, but I figured it out. And now these switch housings and these switches are just for real Harley Davidson. They're no aftermarket or anything like that. They're purchased from Harley, which makes me feel good. And they're really quality, like all the Harley stuff. Just everything I've gotten has been top quality. And so that's it.